Good day, Engineer Herondo. Good day, classmates. Today, we will discuss about construction methods and operations. But first, let me show you the table of contents. First, we have the construction methods. Second, types of construction. Third, construction process of phases. Fourth, modern methods of construction. And lastly, we have the construction operations. Right in front of your screens are the strenuous reporters of today's topic. I am Shirina Batayola, accompanied by Evangeline M. Laracas, Cyril L. Mansalapus, and Mr. Arvin Joshua Palatino. Like what Winston Churchill said, we shape our buildings. Thereafter, they shape us. Let me show you what the construction is. What is construction? Well, construction is the process of constructing a building or infrastructure. Construction differs from manufacturing in that manufacturing typically involves mass production of similar items without a designated purchaser, while construction typically takes place on location for a known client. Construction as an industry comprises 6 to 9% of the gross domestic product of developed countries. We have three types of building construction. First, we have the building construction, the infrastructure, and what completes the three is the industrial. Building construction is usually further divided into residential and non-residential, or what we call as commercial or institutional. Although building construction projects typically include various common elements, such as the design, financial, estimating, and legal considerations. Many projects of varying sizes, each undesirable end results, such as the structural collapse, cost overruns, and litigation. Infrastructure is often called heavy or highway, heavy civil or heavy engineering. It includes large public works, dams, bridges, highways, water, and utility distribution. So this is the picture of infrastructure or the heavy civil. Industrial includes refineries, processed chemical, power generation, mills, and manufacturing plants. There are other ways to break the industry into sectors or markets. So this is what the industrial looks like. In construction processes, first, construction usually involves the translation of design into reality. Second, design usually consists of drawings and specifications, usually prepared by a design team including architect, civil, mechanical, electrical, structural, and fire protection engineers. We also have the planning consultants, architectural consultants, and archaeological consultants. Third, formal design team may be assembled to plan the physical proceedings and to integrate those proceedings with other parts. Under the financial advisors, we have the following. Construction can suffer from preventable financial problems. Underbids happen when builders ask for too little money to complete the project. Cash flow problems exist when the present amount of funding cannot cover the current cost for labor and materials. Fraud is a problem in many fields, but is notoriously prevalent in construction field. And lastly, the financial planning. It is intended to ensure that a solid plan with adequate safeguards. Under the legal aspects, we also have the following. These include governmental regulations on the use of property and obligations that are created in the process of construction. The project must adhere to zoning and building code requirements. Some legal requirements came from Malum Inser considerations. We also have the following. Design, finance, and legal aspects overlap and interrelate. The design must be not only structurally sound and appropriate for the use and location, but must also be financially possible to build and legal to use. The financial structure must accommodate the need for building the design provided and must pay amounts that are legally owned. Procurement. Procurement describes the merging of activities undertaken by the client to obtain a building. There are many different methods of construction procurement. However, the three most common types of procurement are traditional design build management contracting. There is also a growing number of new forms of procurement that involve relationship contracting, where the emphasis is on a cooperative relationship between the principal and contractor and other stakeholders within a construction project. New forms include partnering such as public-private partnering, also known as private finance initiatives, and alliances such as pure or project alliances and impure or strategic alliances.
So let us now proceed to construction phases. First one, we have vision, fantasy, and idea. A concept never intended to be built may be an aesthetic or structural design exercise. So kapag sinabing vision or fantasy, karaniwan siya is perspective. So ang considered lang sa kanya mostly is yung architectural design, which is minsan or kadalasan ay hindi pumapasa sa civil engineering code or sa building codes. Kaya imposible siyang ma-build, imposible siyang i-execute. Next one is the proposed, a building concept that is under review by building owner and government. So, kapag sinabing proposed, ito pala ang yung blueprint ng plano. So, hindi pa siya final. Hindi pa siya na-check ng building owner and ng government. So, sa pag-check ng building owner is kung agree na siya kung dito ba talaga gustong nakapwesto. Alimbawa, yung kwarto or yung kusina. Something like that. Next is the approved, a building concept that will constructed in the near future. If the proposed building is not approved, then the proposal may be amended and resubmitted or it may be deferred or cancelled. So, dito na pumapasok yung approval ng civil engineers at saka ng government. So, kung hindi pa rin man okay yung plano, pwede siyang i-resubmit for checking. Next one is the design. The specification of what is to build in sufficient detail to be used as the basis as a contract between the owner and the contractor. So, yung design is, ang ina-consider lang sa kanya kadalasan is yung structural design, hindi nakasama yung architectural. Sa structural, kung alin yung pinaka-practical na design kung hindi mag-collapse, halimbawa yung beam or yung column. Next one is the procurement. The selection of the contractor or contractors to carry out the construction. This may be by competitive tendering. So, ang procurement is yung pagpili ng contractors na mag-handle dun sa isang specific project. Next is diversions. Before construction can start, any services on the site which must be kept operational to serve other adjacent sites must be diverted so they run outside the footprint of the new building. This can include drainage, water and gas pipe services, and power and communication cables. Ang pagkakaintindi ko sa diversion is dapat stable or dapat constant yung mga resources like water and yung drainage. At saka yung agatambakan, halimbawa man kung sakaling magkaroon ng excavation. Next, we have under construction. A fully designed building currently being built. So, kapag sinabing under construction, yung isang specific project is meron ng progress. Say, tapos na yung kanyang footing. Mapupunta na siya sa framing ng column. Next is the groundworks. Construction work below ground level including the construction of basements and foundation. So, groundworks, yun nga, construction siya ng basement underneath ground level. So, hindi lang basement yung inaano sa groundworks, pwede ring mga septic tanks, mga ganun. Next is topped out. A fully designed building where construction has reached the highest point of the building. So, kapag sinabing topped out, tapos na yung kanyang structural design. Pero, hindi pa rin ganun siya pwedeng i-occupy ng specific resident. Next is the fitting out. Installation of the decorative non-structural elements once the building main structure is complete. This includes painting, ceilings, light fittings, etc. So sa pag-fitting out, parang external and internal designs siya. kasama dito yung pagpipintura, paglalagay ng kisame, at saka included din po dito yung installation ng electrical and mechanical systems. Next is the commissioning or setting to work. Once the building mechanical and electrical plumbing communications and building control systems are installed, they need to be tested and adjusted so they deliver the required performance. So, just because installed na yung electrical and plumbing system niya doesn't mean pwede na siyang i-occupy. Siyempre, kailangan pa rin siyang magdaan through test para masigurado kung pwede na ba siyang i-occupy. Next is the substantial completion or beneficial occupancy. A point when the work is sufficiently complete so that the owner can occupy. Items noted during inspection, punch list, or snag list may still be corrected. So, kapag sinabing substantial completion, pwede na siyang i-occupy, meron na siyang electrical and plumbing system. Pero hindi pa siya kompleto, hindi pa siya ganun katapos. Wala pa, minsan, kahit pwede nang i-occupy, kadalasan sa bahay is, yung iba wala pang palitada, yung iba wala pang pintura. Next one, we have complete or built. A fully designed building that has been fully built, excluding future expansions. So, kapag sinabing fully built na yung isang building, so, occupied na siya ng isang specific resident. Included na sa kanya yung internal and external designs like paintings, plasterings, etc. Installed na rin sa kanya yung electrical and plumbing systems and it works perfectly as expected. Next is the building operation. All those day-to-day activities need to ensure the building can be used. In simple buildings, this means little more than cleaning, but in more complicated buildings, this is a large-scale operation employing a large team or staff. If they do their job right, then you hardly notice them. So, ang building operation is parang meron siyang specific field where they maintain the use of the building. So, kapag may sira, halimbawa sa electrical, tatawag ng electrician para ma-fix yun and maintain its power or its use. Next is the maintenance. Works to ensure the building continues to operate in accordance with its design, including replacing elements which are approaching at the end of their useful life. So, yung maintenance is parang pareho lang siya sa building operation. Meron siyang specific na tao na magme-maintain ng gamit ng building. Hindi lang siya in terms of electrical. So, pwede rin sa plumbing o pwede rin sa structural. Halimbawa, nasira yung kisame mo. So, tatawag ka ng gagawa at magme-maintain nun. Next is the repair. Replacing building elements which have been damaged or which have failed to restore the building to its as-built state. So, repair, kapag may nasira, syempre, ipapa-repair, ipapaayos. Parang maintenance din siya, pero hindi naman ganun kadalas mag-repair kasi hindi naman ganun kadalas magkaroon ng sira. So, parang occasional lang. It takes time para magkaroon ng sira sa isang specific residential house or building. Next is the renovation. Modification to the building. These can be minor modifications that are carried out while the building is occupied or major works where only the structural elements are kept in the building is out use for years. So, renovation. Kapag halimbawa ang bahay is occupied, it doesn't mean na kailangan pang umalis ng resident. For example, sa isang bahay, kapag nasira yung kusina, doon lamang magkakaroon ng renovation. Yung ibang gamit sa kusina is lilipat halimbawa sa sala. Something like that. Next one, we have demolition. Destruction of the building which may include the salvage of some elements for reuse elsewhere. Kapag sinabing demolition, so total destruction na siya ng isang bahay or ng building, i-redesign siya or i-renovate. We also have our construction methods. First one, we have surveying. So, sa surveying is, kailangan mo munang i-survey yung location. For example, yung soil. Baka mamaya tambak lang yan, baka mamaya hindi yan stable. So, may possibility siya na mag-collapse and mag-collapse din yung building na nakatayo sa kanya. Also included din sa kanya yung quantity surveying, which you will estimate the cost and yung mga materials na gagamitin. Specifically yung cement, gravel, sand, steel, at saka yung mga kahoy na gagamitin sa framing and braces. Next one, we have clearing. So bago magkaroon ng major construction, nagkakaroon din muna ng major clearing operation. Halimbawa, dun sa location mo, merong puno. So hindi naman kailangan yun, makakasagabal yun, kaya kailangan yung tanggalin. Next one is the framing. Framing ay yan yung pagpuporma na nung foundations and footing niya. Kasama na rin dyan yung pag-frame ng beam and columns. Next one are the signage. So signages are assigned para maiwasan yung aksidente. Kasi kapag karaniwan sa construction, accident prone area siya. So kailangan magkaroon ng signage para at least makaiwas yung mga hindi alam na may ongoing construction dito sa location na ito. Next is na mobilization. So at this process, andito na lahat, nakapili na ng contractor, na breakdown na yung plano, and meron na siyang progress. Next one is the layout. So kapag merong ongoing construction, syempre yung contractor is kailangan niyang i-assign halimbawa yung skilled. Dito ka, this is your specific area. So, kailangan mong i-break down yung floor plan sa kanila in order for them to know what they have to do where they are assigned. Next one, we have excavation. So, kapag nagkakaroon ng excavation, ibig sabihin, huhukaying lupa which they will position their footing, which is also the next construction method here. Footing is necessary para siya yung pinakang foundation ng columns niya. Afterwards, meron din tayong beams and slabs. Karaniwan, kapag katapos ng column, ang inuuna muna is wall. Nag-aasintada muna bago magkaroon ng biga or beam, and doon na pumapasok yung pag-build ng slab. Necessary lang naman ang slab is kapag may second floor, or meron din namang one-story houses na naka-slab para secure sila sa tulad ng bagyo. Ganun. So, next, we have electrical and mechanical system. So, napapaloob dito yung pag-install ng electrical and mechanical systems, which includes yung paglinya ng kuryente, paglinya ng switch sa ilaw, at saka yung mga outlets. Next one is plumbing. So, included dito basta yung mga water systems like drainage and septic tanks. Finishing and partitions. So, sa pag-finish, included dyan specifically is yung pagpalitada, pagpintura, at saka yung mga internal and external designs ng bahay. Taping off or roof deck. So, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, sa one-story building na nakaslab, so dito nagkakaroon ng roof deck. Yung roof deck is parang terrace, which is ginagawa nilang tambayan or living area. Next is the painting of the house. So, dyan na pumapasok yung pagpintura. Yung power supply is, ganun na rin yun sa electrical and mechanical. Yun yung supply ng kuryente sa buong bahay. Sa bawat specific area like kwarto, CR, kitchen, at saka sa sala. Next is the testing. So, after na i-install yung mga electrical and plumbing system, kailangan muna siyang i-test baka kasi mamaya mag-fail, or halimbawa hindi tama yung pagkalagay, maka-cause pa siya ng accident. Next is the demobilization. Yung demobilization is yung pagtanggal na ng mga halimbawa, yung mga barracks na pinagstayan ng workers, tatanggal, yun yung tinatawag na demobilization. Parang demolition na siya nung pinagtuluyan ng mga skilled workers na gumawa dun sa specific structure. Next, lastly, we have the handover. So, kailangan nating i-hand over siya dun sa building owner or sa residential owner, which they are able to occupy the building.
Our next topic is all about the modern methods of construction. We all know that there is drastic growth of modern trends, materials, and technologies in the global construction industry market. Hence, it is apprehended to have a major effect on the path construction is executed in the future. Modern techniques for building constructions are around for greater output and operation. The main aim of modern construction technique is boost construction productivity, efficiency, user satisfaction, environmental performance, better quality, sustainable development, and predictability of delivery time of project. The first method is the precast flat panel system. It is a construction technique that provides an alternative to traditional site-based construction. Precast flat panel system components are mass-produced off-site, making them practical for recurring requirements that also demand speed of manufacturing and consistency of product. Panels can include elements such as doors, windows, and floor units. They can also include features such as decorative wall, finishes, fitted insulation, and so on. Some types can be used as load-bearing panels in cross-wall construction applications. Precast flat panel system can reduce on-site waste and ongoing maintenance, but they can be difficult to transport and handle. Using the precast flat panel construction technique may shorten construction project completion times. The next method is the 3D volumetric construction. It is also known as the modular construction. It involves the production of three-dimensional units in controlled factory conditions prior to transportation to site. Modules can be brought to site in a variety of forms, ranging from a basic structure to one with all internal and external finishes and services installed, all ready for assembly. The casting of modules uses the benefits of factory conditions to create service-intensive units where a high degree of repetition and the need for rapid assembly on-site makes its use highly desirable. This modern method of construction offers the inherent benefits of concrete such as thermal, mass, sound, and fire resistance, as well as offering factory quality and accuracy, together with speed of erection on site. Another method is the tunnel form. It is a formwork system that allows the contractor to cast walls and slabs in one operation in a daily cycle. It combines the speed, quality, and accuracy of factory or off-site production with the flexibility and economy of in-situ construction and is recognized as modern method of construction. The result is a cellular enforced structure, the surface of which are sufficiently high quality to require only minimal finishing for direct decoration, while the end walls and facades are easily completed with thermally insulated units that can be clad as required. The system creates an efficient load-bearing structure for use in a wide variety of applications. It is particularly effective in projects suited to repetitive cellular constructions such as residential blocks, hotels, student accommodations, barracks, and prisons. One of the modern methods is the hybrid concrete construction. It is a method of construction in which it integrates precast concrete and cast in-situ concrete to make best advantage of their different inherent qualities. The accuracy, speed, and high-quality finish of precast components can be combined with the economy and flexibility of cast in-situ concrete. Hybrid concrete construction produces simple, buildable, and competitive structures. The client is given better value, and the contractor benefits from increased off-site components manufacture, safe and faster construction, and consistent performance. The next method is the thin joint masonry. It is a fast, clean, and accurate system for construction using autoclaved, aerated concrete blocks of close dimensional tolerance with 2 mm to 3 mm mortar joints. Thin layer mortar is a premixed cement paste product that only requires the addition of water to make an easily applied mortar. It differs from general use mortar in that it sets more rapidly, thus giving early stability to the construction. It provides an alternative to traditional sand cement mortar and allows the depth of the mortar to be reduced from at least 10 mm to 3 mm or less. Next on the list is the insulating concrete formwork. It is a simple construction system using a purpose-made insulating panels or blocks as the formwork for in-situ concrete. Once the concrete has been poured, the panels remain in place to act as thermal insulation. There are a variety of different block and panel systems, using typically either expanded polystyrene insulation or extruded polystyrene. The design and thickness of the overall construction depends on the properties required for the wall and the structural requirements for the in-situ concrete wall, including steel reinforcement if necessary. A variety of shapes and components exist permitting the construction of different building forms, including curves. The exterior of the building can be clad in any finish and internally is either dry-lined or plastered. The last method is the precast foundations. It is an off-site construction technique in which the foundation units are pre-engineered and manufactured in a controlled environment. These units, as are pre-engineered, their capacities or the limits are communicated with the purchaser to produce the desired unit. The advantages of these methods are: the precast concrete foundation is constructed in a controlled environment and hence it follows strict quality control. Second, the precast concrete foundation units are stronger and lighter when compared to other competing materials. And lastly, the employing a precast concrete foundation construction techniques helps to minimize the construction period.
Construction operations. Since 3D modeling is the trend in the simulation area, construction operation is very complex and time-consuming. When it comes to 3D models, if you all know, it is generally classified according to specialized field. These include preparation of the project site, earth moving, foundation treatment, steel erection, concrete replacement, asphalt, paving, electrical and mechanical installations. Therefore, in its widest sense, the term construction operations might refer to any activity that contributes to the delivery of construction project. Prosaidic. Prosaidic is a system for simulating construction operations jointly developed by the Planning and Methods Unit of Dragados E-Construction in Madrid, Spain, and the Division of Construction Engineering and Management at Purdue University. Also, Prosaidic is a computer-based system analyzing construction job site production processes. It is used to improve productivity in the field by studying resource utilization and cycle times, identifying opportunities for production improvement. In short, it is system or computer program that is used to improve the productivity of the field, such as construction. Guys, did you all know that this Prosaidic used the Cyclone Operation Network or Cyclone model was originally developed by Daniel W. Halpin? Hierarchical levels in construction. According to the figure, management levels of management in construction are starting from top to bottom. First is organizational, second is project, third is activity, fourth is operation, fifth is process, and last is work task. So let's start for organizational. Organizational it is a company structure and business focus, head office and field functions, portfolio projects, gross project attributes. The example of this in levels of constructions are the following: the general managers, senior level managers, chief executive, chief technology, and chief finance officers. In some cases, the board of directors can be included in this level since they will guide the business focus of the company. Next is project. Project definition, contract drawings, specifications, cost, time, breakdown into project activities. For example, principal engineers, project managers, technical project managers, legal specialists, senior engineers, and chief estimators will produce the contracts, specifications, and cost analysis for construction project. Third is activity. It is the attainment of physical segment of project equated to time and cost control. The best example of this is estimators, project engineers, project managers, and technical project managers. Next is operation. Operation is the construction method focus, means of achieving construction complete. The best example of this is senior level field engineers that will guide and supervise less experienced field engineers while receiving their assignments from the project managers. Next is process. It is the basic technological sequence focus, logical collection of work tasks, and recognizable portion of construction operation. For example, field engineers including mechanical and civil and electrical engineers process the required technological knowledge to create a plan to accomplish the goals specified by the project. Last is work task. It is the fundamental field action and work unit focus, skill at crew member level, and basis of work assignment to labor. Example, lead technicians and experienced workers will supervise less experienced workers in the crews for each work assignment. Field engineers also may, from time to time also, supervise and manage resource at this level. Building process models. These models is the modeling elements can be used in a variety of patterns to model construction operations. As you can see, the best example of the building model process considering the development of a model for earth modeling operation that involves loading of trucks with earth transport to a dump area. So, in order to develop the framework of the earth moving operation, it is necessary to identify the major resources involved, trucks, front end, loader, and soil, and establish the various states that the resources are traversed in their work assignment path cycles. Then finally, the integration of the resource paths and cycles establishes the basic structure of the operations. In short, this model is an approximation of the real process, limiting its reliability and usefulness in particular domains. So, to sum it all, construction operations and methods are composed of types of building constructions, construction processes and phases, construction methods and modern methods, and also construction operation. That's all, and thank you for listening.